So in Holland, you guys are so lucky because stinging nettle grows everywhere, right? In the States, we have to cultivate this plant. We actually have to grow it and spend time and money because it doesn't grow so well. So it's kind of like the grass is always greener, right? Because here, most of you may not appreciate this plant. It's one of the most healthiest plants out there. So out of the thousands of plants, it's one of 10 that's written about in most sacred texts. It's good for all sorts of joint problems, arthritis. It's good for your tissues, loaded with minerals and vitamins. Lowers cholesterol, high blood pressure. For people with low blood sugar, it actually raises their blood sugar to a normal level. And for people with high blood sugar, it lowers it amazingly. Calms allergies, whether they're from food or from the environment, like in springtime. Many, many health benefits. There's at least 50 different types of nettles that I'm aware of, and all of them are edible. If you decide to grow it in your garden, you can actually buy a variety that's called stingless nettles. So it's just as good, but it's free of the stingers, and so it's a little bit user-friendly. Now nettles, you can safely eat it, but it's best to eat nettles when it's under a meter tall, right? When it's still in its youthful phase. This is pretty much true with all greens. The smaller the greens, the more nutritious they are. You know, like baby greens in the store, little greens are more nutritious because they're like little sprouts and most of their energy isn't in them at that time so that they can become plants. After a plant has already gone to seed, the nutrition starts to diminish. Nettles will start developing really fibrous stalks, and it won't be as desirable after it grows over a meter tall. However, if you have big nettles and you still want to make green smoothies out of them, you could just take the tops off the plant. So if they're tall, just use the tops. If they're under a meter tall, you can use the whole plant. Most of them have prickles, right? So the best way that I found to use nettles is to just simply throw them in the blender, because any kind of processing of the nettle will get rid of the spikes. What? Yeah.
Say it again. Any process?
Any processing of the nettles, whether you're blending or food processing the nettles, gets rid of the spikes. You can actually take a rolling pin or like some kind of weight and just beat on the plant, and it'll get rid of the spikes as well.
And you would not wash this?
If I picked it from this park, I would wash it.
Okay.
Probably because there's a lot of humans. If I picked it from my backyard, I wouldn't wash it. Once again, why I tend to underwash my plants is because dirt or soil has lots of beneficial microorganisms in it. It has B12 and other good healthy bacteria like bifidus and acidophilus. That's really good for our internal organs. I find that people who are very neat and very clean, their health tends to suffer because, you know, in our society we gauge how clean something is by how many chemicals we spray on it. But actually in nature, dirt is some of the cleanest substances, like really fresh organic soil. If you get stung by nettles, what do you do?
Chew it, and
there's a plant that can be the remedy. Well, actually, the nettle's leaf itself is the remedy for nettle sting. So, the juice.
How would you do it then? Because then you get stung again.
Where are they right now?
How would you? Can you demonstrate it?
Can I demonstrate it?
Yeah.
I don't really want to chew this up.
No.
Okay, so if I get stung, right? I get stung, and I don't want to. Because sometimes when I'm hiking in Oregon, for instance, if I come across a nettles plant, I go down and look at it too closely and it stings my face. So I take a leaf, I chew it up, and I spit it out, and the juice of the nettles will actually get rid of the sting. Now, how do you chew it up without getting stung, right? If you look on the underside of the leaf, you'll notice that all the stingers are growing in one direction. So they're growing, if this is the leaf, they're all going out this way. So, the easiest way I found to do it is to carefully with your fingernails pluck the stem and then roll the leaf so that all of them fold up towards the edge. And then you can safely chew it up so that it doesn't sting. If you do get a prickle on your tongue, it won't last very long because once again the juices will flow and it'll count.